Okay, everybody, we're here to make the Saggy Tatas scarf. And what you're going to need is a few things to make this. I've been using the Hirschner's Worsted 8 yarn. This color is raspberry. This is what we made, this one we're about to show you. You get approximately 2 out of one of these skeins of 489 yards. 100% acrylic, medium 4, but I say a 3, so between a 3 and a 4. And then you're going to need something for the nips, and I use Eversoft Premier just because it was, I thought, appropriate color. Okay, you're also going to need, I got a 6mm crochet hook, that's when you're making the nips, scissors, a darning needle. You're also going to need a hot glue gun, and some glue sticks, of course. You're going to need a little bit of polyfill. And this is what I'm using for these. These ones are Christmas ornaments, and I filled them with dried beans. And I'm going to hot glue this lid on, and then I'll show you what else we're going to do with that. But I've got 2 of them filled with dried beans. On the first one that I made, I used a softballs as the main part of the tatas, but you pretty much can use anything. You can use the fiber fill and put a bag of Ziploc bag of beans inside of it, kind of tape it around and form it, or just about anything with a little bit of weight to make them sag. Okay, that's the whole point of it. All right, so what you do is, we're going to do it on the knitting machine. And so Mark is going to do this part of it. And he's going to show you how he used this yarn to make the main part of the tatas, but of the scarf itself. But you could also crochet in the round and make a long tube. You could also crochet a rectangle and just fold it in half and sew it up one side, create yourself a tube. There's a lot of different things you can do, but you could use just about any size of the Addy or the Centro. You could even use the 22 pin. It would just be a narrower scarf. So I'm going to leave it up to Mark to show you how to do the knitting machine part of it with the Hirschner's yarn, and then I'm going to take it from there. So we'll be back. Okay, Mark's going to do the main part of the scarf on the Addy. We're also going to show you how to do it if you don't have an Addy. But he's using the Hirschner's Worsted 8 yarn. This is in the color raspberry, which is like a medium pink. They say it's 100% acrylic, and there's 489 yards in this skein. Obviously, I don't think we're going to use the whole thing, but I don't know, we'll see how long it gets. Anyways, it says it's a medium 4, but as you can see, it's more like a DK, which works better in the Addy machine. And so Mark's going to show you how to cast on, how many revolutions, and how to cast off. And then I'm going to show you how to crochet one without the machine. So hold on one second, and Mark's going to get rolling.
Hello, everybody. Here we go. Cast on this yarn, and then let the tag on here. Leave yourself. I go like this, the length of the machine. Just drop her down. Hook the first loop here, then behind, zigzag around. Last. Look around. Look around. pull some yarn out here so I can tension it with my hand. Alrighty, I got 3 revolutions here on my counter.
Talk loud. Talk louder, baby.
Go around here. I use the box so I don't put pressure pushing in on the eddy, because you don't want that when you're using a drill. Okay, so here we go. Here by the sound of the machine, there's no bang, 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 and our stitches are coming out right. So the machine likes this yarn. Some of the tension, I just keep it kind of, just hold it in my fingers and keep it taut here a little bit. It's just not real tight. Just let it slide between your fingers. They say use a starter string. I never use a starter string. I just leave scrap yarn to start. I just, like I said, I leave it about the length of the machine there, hanging down. I even left the tag on there, so that's how it goes. And we'll counter up. I usually, for this project here, about 200 on the counter. And that leaves you a pretty good. At about 100, I stop and roll it in. I'll show you when I get to about 100. Okay, we're back. Now, I wound it up like a normal hat. I got about 120 here. And you see you get this loop in the bottom. That's what I do. Because I got all that yarn spinning around, it starts wrapping itself up and it'll give you trouble. So as I roll it up like this, okay, there we go. That tag, we just dropped that in there. That's so it don't drag on there and bind up. In other words, you'll get a lot of yarn underneath and it'll grab the legs. Alright, and now we'll finish up. I got 120 and we'll run it up to the 200 mark. And
or more, depending on the yarn.
Yeah, depending on the yarn. This here, imagine about 210, it should be fine. Alrighty, now I'll wind it up. It's off?
It's on.
Oh, it's on? Okay. I roll this up here, like this. And just let the weight of the yarn pull down. Now we'll wind it up to probably 240, 250, and that should be plenty long enough. But we'll see how much we have yarn down here on this this skein. Alrighty, alright. I'll get busy here, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, now as I was going, I had to keep rolling the hat up like this, so it would keep even instead of twisting in there. So now I got the counter up to 250. So come over here and leave yourselves plenty of room. I like to go just a couple feet here. So we got plenty of room to cast off. And we're going to cast it off. Okay. Take it all the way here to this needle that's got it right there. It's hooked. And we'll close the gate. So dry in here right now. It's static. Now, we cast off just like on a regular hat, but we don't pull it tight. Okay. Okay. Drill. I would do 3 at a time. Under this loop, pull through. I take my thumb and go this way. I find that if you do it like that with the thumb, it don't pull this loop off. Practice. This taught me that because oh, I pulled it off. Oh, I lost the loop. Oh, you got a big mess. So 3. We'll do 3 more. And twist it all the way around. Part of the machine there.
Get static going so
much
bad.
Static. Under the loop. This. Open there. Okay. See that happens. Open a little. Okay. Just like that. Go around. Around. Pull up here a little bit more, like this. So I get a little further around.
Make sure you don't miss a loop, because that'll mess you all up.
It'll unravel. That's why I do 3 at a time. Because if you try and go 4, then sometimes when you're pulling the yarn like this, you'll pop a loop off and then you have to chase it. And normally it don't work out too good for me. When that happens, I normally take this, put it in a dish, the bowls on here, and just go backwards. And when I frog it backwards, then I just frog it right back onto the machine and go over again. Okay, so I'm going to pull a little bit more yarn out of here because I'm getting a little short. More yarn here. Get a little tight. Okay. I'll go down to the last couple here.
Talk a little louder, babe.
Now, to the end. This one. And the last one. Okay, there we go. Don't pull it all the way tight. Just pull it like that. You just see I'm left with about a foot leader here. So that's good. You don't want to pull it all the way tight. Now you have to put the assembly together and then you'll cinch it up. But then we'll come out and roll it down like this. I just shake it. And she comes down. There we are. And at that, that's at least 36 inch. Maybe a little longer. So, yep. And there we go. Now,
We'll move on to the next part.
Move on to the next part.
Okay, this one's a little longer than usual. I would say 4 foot, about a 4 foot size would be good. This one's a little bit longer. And as you can see, this is tube form. Okay, and I'm going to show you, we don't close up either end, and I'll show you why in a little bit. We are going to use our hot glue gun first and foremost. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and glue this lid on. Just going to glue it all the way around so it doesn't come off. You don't want that flopping around in there and causing problems. But we're going to cover it with fiber so that the fiber will also be a cushion for these. Okay? So what I do is I just kind of squirt hot glue just wherever. I take the fiber and I just kind of do that with it for a minute. And then I will go around and glue the parts that are sticking up. Ooh, I know better to do that. It's not my first go around with a hot glue gun. Okay, now we got that part covered. Now we're going to cover the other side. Just kind of spread it out. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to cover the whole thing so that's not banging around in there. Okay, so got that side covered. And once again, we're going to go around and kind of stick the parts up. Let me get another glue stick. Okay, go around and just kind of push those down. Okay, take some more. Cover this part of it. Spread that out. Okay. Oh, there's a bare spot. Watch out for those bare spots. Okay, so like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just basically has to coat the Christmas ornament. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to go around, I'm going to glue this on so it doesn't come off. Okay. Now I'm going to take some fiber, kind of stretch it out a little bit, and we'll start gluing it around the top first. Okay, and kind of roll it over, and you can see where it's not stick. Put some glue there where it's not sticking. Roll it around. Okay, put some here. Like I said, it's no being perfect with this. It's just kind of cushioning the blow. Okay, I'm gonna put a bunch of glue all over this. Do this. I did the same thing that I'm doing right now. I did with the softballs. I glued the fiber onto the softballs. Okay, there we go. That looks pretty good. All right, let me get rid of this fiber. Okay, our next thing that we're going to do, let me get this out of the way, is I want to feel, personally, because I've not used these ornaments before, I'm going to point the ornament upward. Okay, so you're going to take your softball, your bag of beans, your whatever it is that you've got, you're using for your tatas. You're going to put it in the end there, and then you're going to pull it shut. Okay? You always roll. Hope you can see that. When you're pulling it shut, pull it as tight as you can. Then I'm going to take my darning needle. Okay, and then I'm going to go back and forth a couple of times tying knots. Putting it through the loop, pull it tight, go the other direction, go through the loop, pull it tight. Just do that a couple of good times so you know you've got it secured. And that closes up that little gap you got down there. Put it through the loop. There we go. Okay, then this is just like a, kind of smash it out there. So, okay, this is just like amigurumi. Just kind of go up a little ways and pull it through. Cut it off. Okay, that one's ready to go. Just kind of shake it down. Okay, so that one's ready. Now let's do the other side. I got hot glue on my thumb when I burned my hand. That hurt. Okay. All right, now we got our other one. I want to feel for the top of that. There it is. Stick that on the inside. Up there. And don't worry, you can push it up further, you know, because you're going to, Mark left the tag on, because you're going to shake it down and make sure that it gets to the bottom of the scarf. Okay. Kind of push the ends inward so it seals up better. There we go. I'm going to clip some of this off. I don't need quite this much. Alright. Use our darning needle. Hope you guys can see what I'm doing. And we're going to do the same thing we did on the other side. We're just going to go through and go through the loop. Go through. Go back and forth a couple of times. Go through that loop. Pull it tight. Tie that knot up really good. Okay. Alright, now we're just going to go like you do in amigurumi and hide that end. Oops. That didn't work. Okay. Okay. Pick it up and shake it down. Okay, so now this is what we have. If you can see, we have the tatas and the long part of the scarf. Now once you've got it shaken down, make sure they're facing in the right direction, the right length, all that kind of stuff. What we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of yarn and we're just going to sew these two together. I don't know, probably 4 or 5 inches worth. We're going to sew those together so that when it hangs around your neck, you've got the open hole for your neck. The weight of the tatas will pull down, but they won't swing around to the side of you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our darning needle. Yeah, this is, you know, a contest that we're having, but also, too, this is for breast cancer awareness. Both Mark's daughter, my grandmother, my aunt, our families have been affected by breast cancer, and so we are big breast cancer advocates, and to the point where we have pink ribbons on our trees, and, you know, we're very supportive of our Breast Cancer Awareness Society. Okay, so, you know, just kind of judge, make sure that they're even. You know, these do not have to be perfect, because I don't know a woman that's got a perfect pair. All right, and so I'm just going to sew back and forth. First, I'm going to pull this all the way through. Let's say about that much. I'm going to tie it. I always tie 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to sew this back and forth, and kind of hide your end as you go. Go into each stitch. Let's kind of pair them up and go into each stitch. I'm going to do that for about 4 or 5 inches, just to hold the tatas together so they don't swing around you, swing around your arms or whatever. It kind of holds them together in the front. Okay. Like I said, nothing fancy. Just make sure you get every stitch. Okay. I'm Go down a couple more inches. Okay. Let's see. And like I said, if you get every stitch, then it's a lot neater, you know. Oops, hung up. There we go. And like I said, basically what we're doing is trying to keep them from swinging around underneath your armpits. Okay. Okay. A little bit more, I guess. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through and I'm going to do my 3 knots that I always do for everything. That's 2. And there's number 3. And we can snip this off because it's all the way in the sewn part, our little end. And I'm going to go back up. Sorry, dog alert. I'm going to go back up through this stitch. Just kind of glide my way through there. Okay. And then I always come back down the other way. Okay, we can snip that off. Okay, next thing we're going to be working on, as you can see, this is, let me see if I turn it this way. This is the neck part. This is sewn together so they don't swing around. And then we have our tatas. Okay, next part we're going to be working on is the nip nips. And for the nip nips, let me see, I thought I used this before. What's going on here? Yes, I did. Hold on now. Okay. Alright, for the nip nips. Now, for the contest, you can make this any color. You know, you can make this main portion any color you want. The nips, any color you want. This is whatever you want to do. This is also how I started making this was not for breast cancer awareness so much as it was my daughter had a 40th birthday and I made it as a joke for her. And we realized that this is, you know, kind of cool and we could use this for our breast cancer awareness stuff. So, all right, so you're going to get your hook on your, or get your yarn on your hook. And, oh, I bumped it. And you're going to chain 4. Okay, going to go back into your first stitch. I always hold on to that chain. Okay, now you've made a circle, as you can see. Okay, now we're going to chain 2. Okay, because we're going to be putting double crochets into that circle that we made. Okay, so in order to make a double crochet, I'm not going to teach stitches, but you just wrap your yarn around, go through the center, grab, pull through once, pull through twice. There you go. Okay, we're going to go around this and make 20 double crochets in this. Okay, we want this to be firm. Okay, so I'm going to do my 20 and I will be back. Okay? Okay. I got my 20 double crochets in that ring that we made. And then we're just going to slip stitch into the other side and make it a circle. Alright, then we're going to chain 2. Now what we're going to do this time, and you can make the nip-nips as big or as small as you want, but I made them one more row around, doing 2 double crochets in each stitch, so it ends up with a total of 40 all the way around. Then I make a small circle and I sew it or glue it to the circle in the center to make my nip-nips. So it's completely up to you, how big or how small. You can stop right here if you want. And you go around and put 2 double crochets. Let me pull some yarn out. 2 double crochets in each stitch. I hope you guys are able to see this, okay? I'm kind of new to tutorials, really. Let's try that again. 2 double crochets in each stitch, and that's going to give us a total of 40. Okay, so I'll meet you back after I've gotten my 40 double crochets in my circle, and I'll show you how we make the other part of the nip-nip. I'll be back. Okay, I got my 40 stitches around, and I'm just going to slip stitch into here and tie off. Okay, now you're going to want to kind of tie in your ends here and here, but I'm going to show you how to make the small part. Small part's pretty easy. You can use a magic circle, or you can do the 4. I'm showing this part in a magic circle just because there are people that use magic circles, and there are people that use the chain 4. Okay, so this is a magic circle, which can also be a chain 4. Same concept. We're going to do double crochets, but we're only going to do 10 double crochets into this circle. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to pull this tight, and we are going to slip stitch into the other side and cut it off. Now, I did both sew and tie, and see, basically what we're going to do is we're going to place that in the center. But I'm going to tuck in my ends, and I'll be right back. Okay, so kind of pucker up that littler piece so it sticks out a little bit, okay? And I should have left a longer tail, but I'm just going to go around and sew this right onto there. Alright, so I've sewed all the way around. And just kind of shape it. Okay, I'm going to push this through and hide my tails. That off. Okay, now we're going to need a larger piece. Now, when putting the nip-nips onto, let me move everything out of the way, I got a mess going on Okay, when putting the nips onto it, you're not going to want to put them down here because no one's going to see them. Because when this is hanging, this is what you're going to see. So what you're going to do is you're going to put them up a little ways. Okay? Now when that heaviness sags, that will make that lower. Okay? And basically what you're going to do is you're going to sew the nips on. I'm going to take a piece of yarn. You're going to sew those on. In this case, I would say make sure that you do every stitch, okay? So kind of figure out where you want them. Make your second one so that you can put them both on. And kind of judge where you want them. Now with this, I once again tie 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and I just stick it underneath there. There we go. Okay. So we're going to go around and sew this on every stitch. All the way around. I'm not going to bore you with all of this, but I'll show you the other ones that we finished. And that's how you make the Saggy Tatas sweater for breast cancer awareness, for a funny birthday gift for a daughter or someone you know. I think they would be awesome to wear in like breast cancer, on breast cancer day where they do the walks or, you know, anything like that. And shoot, if you got a sense of humor, you could wear it out in public. Who cares? Anyways, there you go, guys. You can make these hippy-dippy if you want. You can add pasties and tassels and all this kind of stuff. You can use your imagination with this. But this is the general principle of our breast cancer awareness scarf. And I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. And I'm going to finish up with this, and I'll throw a couple pictures up for you to see what we came up with. And that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Don't forget your thumb. If you're not subscribed, consider it. And hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.